The silence was deafening. The streets of Montreal had been swept clean of the old guard. The terrorists were gone. The gangsters were broken. But the darkness never truly leaves. It simply waits for a new host. This is the final chapter. The story of the ultimate inheritors of fear. The Biker War, 160 murders, and the men who ruled through absolute terror. The kingdom of fear was about to be established, and its crown was the winged death head. The power vacuum left by the October crisis was a magnet for a new kind of criminal. More disciplined, more ruthless, they were the outlaw motorcycle gangs. And by the 1980s, one man stood above them all, Maurice "Mom" Boucher. His crown was the winged death head of the Hells Angels. Boucher was not a street thug. He was a CEO of crime. He saw the mistakes of the Dubois gang, their lack of political cover, their sloppy organization. Boucher would not repeat them. He didn't just want a piece of the drug trade. He wanted total dominion. He wanted a monopoly on the entire criminal underworld of Quebec. And when the rival rock machine dared to challenge his authority, he declared war. A war that would last 8 years. A war that would leave 160 bodies in its wake. A war that turned the streets of Montreal into a shooting gallery. The violence was not random. It was a calculated strategy of attrition, a demonstration of absolute, unyielding power. Boucher's masterstroke was not the violence itself, but where he directed it. He understood that to truly rule, you must break the will of the state. He ordered the murders of prison guards, Diane Levine, Pierre Rondeau, innocent men and women targeted simply for wearing a uniform. The goal was clear: paralyze the justice system with fear. If the state could not protect its own, how could it protect its citizens? The terror was absolute. The system was buckling. But in the shadows of this barbaric war, a quiet counteroffensive was being mounted. The police, learning from the mistakes of the past, began to build a case. They found their key in a man named Stéphane Godas-Gagné, a hitman, a man who broke the silence. His testimony would be the pin that pulled the grenade. Operation Charcuterie, the largest gang raid in Canadian history. The police used the very organization of the Hells Angels against them. The empire was fractured. Maurice Boucher was convicted. The Biker War officially ended in 2002. But empires don't vanish. They evolve. The violence created a template. The hunger for power remained. From Wilbert Coffin's wrongful death, to Pierre Laporte's murder, to Mom Boucher's barbaric war, each chapter proved Quebec's shadows corrupt absolutely. The darkness is cyclical. It simply changes its uniform. The old gangsters wore fedoras. The terrorists wore ski masks. The new kings wore leather. But the goal was always the same: absolute power through absolute fear. The streets are quiet again. The Biker War is over. But look closer. The modern city skyline is a monument to the new power. The power of the invisible. The power of the digital. The final inheritors of the kingdom of fear are not on the streets. They are in the servers. They are in the code. They are in the cryptocurrency. The hooded figure watches the chart. The cold smile suggests a new kind of empire. An empire built on the lessons of the past. The innocence is gone. The storm has passed. But the cycle continues. The motorcycle engines roar, a deafening chorus of the past, present, and future. The final descent into the darkness is complete. The kingdom of fear is established, and the story continues in the shadows. We must never forget that the price of freedom is eternal vigilance. The kingdoms of the shadow are always waiting for us to look away. They thrive in the silence. They grow in the doubt. The story of Quebec's underworld is a warning to us all. A warning that the darkness is never truly defeated. It only waits for its next opportunity. The kingdom of fear is not a place, but a state of mind. And as long as there are those who seek power through terror, the shadows will remain. The end of the series, the beginning of the watch. Just watch me, the words of a leader or the warning of a tyrant. The answer lies in the shadows, and the shadows are speaking. Are you listening? The kingdom of fear is waiting, and it's closer than you think. The end of Part 3. The final descent. The darkness is absolute. Prepare yourself. The story continues. In the shadows. The roar of the engines is getting louder. Can you hear it? The storm is coming, and there's nowhere to hide. The kingdom of fear is rising, and it's coming for us all. The end. The final curtain falls on a stage stained with blood and ambition. The echoes of the past are the whispers of the future. The cycle of violence is a wheel that never stops turning, and we are all caught in its spokes. The kingdom of fear is not just a history lesson. It is a living, breathing reality. It is the shadow that follows us into the light. It is the doubt that lingers in the back of our minds. It is the fear that keeps us silent when we should speak out. The story of Quebec's shadows is our story. A story of the human condition and the darkness that lies within us all. The final chapter is written in the blood of the innocent and the greed of the powerful. And as the screen fades to black, the shadows remain, waiting, watching, ready to rise again. The end of the road, the final descent into the abyss. The darkness is here, and it is absolute. Prepare yourself for the next chapter. The story never truly ends. It only changes form. The kingdom of fear is eternal, and it is closer than you think. The end, the final word, the silence, the shadows, the roar of the engines, the storm, the darkness, the end. Just watch me. The kingdom of fear is here, and it is absolute. The end, the final descent. The shadows are speaking. Are you listening? The end, the final curtain, the silence, the shadows, the end.